Hello everyone. So today we'll be solving the problem perfect square, the problem number 279. Right. So let's see what the question states here. We have been given an integer n. See here, we have been given an integer n. We have to return the least number of the perfect square numbers that sum to the n. That sum to the n. Right. So here, see, we have been given 12, right? 4, we have been considered here 4 actually. 4 plus 4 plus 4 we can go with, right? We can go with a 4 plus 4 plus. See here, 4 plus 4 plus 4, because it is 2 square plus 2 square plus 2 square, right? So see here, a perfect square is an integer. That is the square of the integer. That is the square of the integer. So perfect square here, 1 is square of 1, this one. 4 is square of 2, 9 is square of 3, and 16 is the perfect square of 4 actually, right? So here we can just go with this one. 2 actually, 2 square plus 2 square plus 2 square we can just go with, right? 4 plus 4 plus 4, right? So output here, 4 plus 4 plus 4 we are going with, the length we have to give the output 3 here in this case, right? So here for the 13 we are going with a this one. What do we call? The 2 square plus 3 square actually. 2 square plus 3 square. 2 square is 4, 4, and the 3 square is nothing but the 9. So here 4 plus 9 would lead to 13, right? So the length we have to go with actually the number 4 and the number 9. It is 2, right? So we are making use of the two numbers length. This is fine. Now they have given us wonderful examples just for the sake of understanding. So see here, they have given the definition as well. The perfect square is an integer that is the square of the integer. That is the square of an integer. In other words, it is the product of some integer with itself, right? So this is 1 square, this is 2 square, this is 3 square, and this is 4 square are the perfect square, while 3 and 11 are not. Yeah, 3 and 11 are not, right? So we don't get this one. So basically 3 and 11 are not. This is fine. Now, to solve this particular problem, before hopping into the approach, let me tell you one thing. So we will be making use of the dynamic programming to solve this particular problem, right? So this is fine, I believe. Now, let's move on with the approach part. So we are considering n equals to 12, right? So this one, let's consider this one as the for the approach as the example, basically, right? Let's consider n equals 12 as an example now. So let's list all the perfect squares of 12, man. All the perfect squares that is less than or equivalent to 12, basically, right? So for the 12 we can just consider, so this is going to be the first step. As I've said, we'll be making use of the dp, basically 1d dp, right? So just remember this. So we are listing all the perfect square less than or equal to 12. So see here, we can just write it in this way: 1, 4, as well as the 9, right? 1 square, 2 square, and 3 square. So this is fine. The next step here would be, let's make use of the dp array, nothing but the dp of I here. dp of I, it is equivalent to the minimum number of squares summing to the I. This is fine. Let's move on with the third step here. So third step, what we are doing here, we will be initializing dp of 0 to 0. 0 requires 0 squares, right? So this one, let me go with dp of 0, that is equivalent to the 0, right? So now let's build up dp of I for I equals 1 to 12, right? So here for the dp of 1, for the, this is the fourth step, for the dp of 1 it would be equivalent to 1. For the dp of 2 it would be 2. For the dp of 3 it would be 3 actually. So for the dp of 1 it will be only 1. dp of 2 it would be 2. It would lead to 1 plus 1. For the dp of 3 it would lead to 1 plus 1 plus 1, right? The same thing we have to calculate until dp of n. So for the dp of n, or for the dp of 4 actually, dp of n we have been given 4, right? We have to consider 4 here in this case, right? So this one, dp of 4 equals min of dp of this one. What do we call min? It will be minimum of dp of this one. What do we call? 4 minus 1 plus 1. So this one will be 4 minus 1 plus 1 as dp of 3 plus 1, basically 4 itself, right? So dp of 4 minus 1 plus 1, nothing but 4 here, right? So comma, this one will be dp of 4 minus 4 into 1, sorry, plus 1. So 0 plus 1, it would lead to dp of 1 actually. It would lead to dp of 1. So this one will be dp of 4, min of 4. So the value that we got here is 4 and 0. Min of 4 comma 0 actually. min of 4 comma 1. So dp of 0 would lead to 1 here, right? So this is 1. Sorry. dp of 4 minus 1, 4 minus 4 plus 1, 0 plus 1, it would lead to 1. So min of 4 comma 1 we have to go with. Min of 4 comma 1 is 1 actually. Min of 4 comma 1 is 1. So we'll continue until dp of 12 actually. We have went with dp of 1, 2, 3, this one 3, 4. This one we will continue until dp of 12, right? So dp of 12 will give us 3 actually. So this would be, you will get 4 plus 4 plus 4 here. So this would lead to this one. What do we call? 3. This one we will return this one as the output. So the output that we got here is 3, which is equivalent to the output that they have mentioned for the example 1 within the question, right? So as we are completely familiar with the approach, let's do one thing. Let's quickly discuss the complexities part. So what will be the time complexity here? The time complexity would lead to pico of n into square root of n. So I can just write it in this way, square root of n. This is fine. So this will be the time complexity. So what would be the space complexity here? Just give me a second, 1 second. Yeah, what would be the space complexity here? Pico of n. So this would be the space complexity, right? So the time complexity and the space complexity of the code that we'll be writing in the future would be pico of n into square root of n and pico of n respectively. Now, as we are completely familiar with the approach and the complexities part, we are good to write the code. Let's start writing the code. Right? Let's start writing the code. Now, just give me a second here. 1 second. First thing here would be this one. What do we call? Let's initialize the dpr, right? So dp of I is nothing but the min squares that sum to I, right? Accordingly with the approach that we discussed. And just let me initialize this one to the new int of n plus 1. Yeah, now let's go with a for loop here. This one will be int I equals 1, I less than or equal to n I plus plus. So this is fine. So within the for loop, what shall we do? So let's go with a maximum squares that is equivalent to the I. All right, all ones we have to consider. So this one will be dp of I. So this one, it is equivalent to the I. Next, let's go with a for loop. So let's try all the perfect squares that is less than or equal to I1. So this one will be for int j equals 1 j uh, into j basically. So this one less than or equal to I. The final one is j plus plus. Let's increment the j here. This is fine. Yep. Now within this for loop, let's choose the month. So this one will be dp of I equals math dot month of what is the formula that we went with, actually formula kind of thing. So this will be dp of I comma dp of I minus j into j. This is fine, plus 1. Yeah, now we are just choosing the minimum here, right? Accordingly with the approach that we went with. So basically, we are articulating the same thing in the form of code, whatever we discussed in the approach. Now, finally, we have to go with the result. We have to display the result, right? So we have to go with the result for n. Nothing but we have to return dp of n in simple terms. So let me format the code once and let me hit the run button. So the sample test cases are getting passed. So let me hit the submit button quickly. Yeah, all the test cases are getting passed, right? So I hope the solution part is completely clear along with the approach and the complexities. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.